Torino FC, once Italy's most successful club, winning 5 titles in a row between 1942 to 1949, along with the Coppa Italia in 1943. However, this unbeatable squad that Torino had assembled was torn apart in May 1949 when their team plane crashed following a game against Benfica, which killed the entire team along with multiple others on board. This event is known as the Grande Torino crash. Despite plenty of ups and downs since 1949, the club has never really returned to this incredible level of domination. Today, however, we will take over the club from Turin and once again turn them into an Italian and European football juggernaut. Today, we rebuild Torino. G'day guys, how's it going? It is JarradHD here. Welcome back to another rebuild. Today, of course, we are headed to Italy. It's a sad reason why we head to Italy. Of course, as I said, the Grande Torino crash that affected Torino in 1949. But today, we look to rebuild Torino and make them once again one of the top teams in Europe. If you guys do go on to enjoy today's rebuild with Torino, make sure you leave a like on the video, and also make sure, if you are new around here, that you bloody scorpion keep that subscribe button down below. For those of you who have not seen a rebuilding challenge video yet, here are the rules. So the main objective of this is to take a team to the Champions League final. We will be simulating every single game up until the Champions League final, which we will play ourselves. We can make whatever transfers we like. Realistic, unrealistic, it does not matter. There's a big focus on the transfer window, only showing players that we sign. And finally, don't get butthurt if I sell your favorite player. Let's get into the rebuild. So this is what our starting 11 looks like for the opening season with Torino. Definitely a few players that will be hanging around for quite a long time, most notably Belotti. He'll probably stay with us for the entirety of the rebuild, but there is a lot of positions we need to improve on. Our backline virtually needs to be upgraded, and Kulu only here on loan for the first season. Our midfield needs to be upgraded. Probably need to bring in a younger goalkeeper. There is a lot of work to do over the course of today's rebuild, but let's get stuck in and get some work done. Alright, so we make our first signing here in charge of Torino, and it is a young gun centre-back, Malang Sarr, joining us from Nice for £9.5 million. And another centre-back signing here, Waldemar Anton, is joining us from Hanover, £7.2 million, plus one of our fifth-string centre midfielder, Valdefori. A great pickup. Welcome to Torino, Anton. Christian Molinaro is departing the club. He is off to Anderlecht for £1.15 million. And we pull off another big signing on deadline day, using up just about all our budget as we bring in Frankie de Jong from Ajax, £11.9 million, plus Moretti for the 20-year-old centre midfielder. Okay, so a very busy window here. 3 players in, 3 players out. Sarr, Anton, and de Jong into Torino. Then Molinaro, Valdefioro, I'm not even going to try pronouncing his name, and Moretti out of the club. This is what our starting 11 looks like right now. Let's see how we're shaping up halfway through season 1 with Torino. So halfway through the season, things aren't the greatest in terms of our position. We sit in 12th on 28 points, but when you break down the math, we're only 4 points away from top 4 football, so if we have a half-decent second half of the season, who knows where we'll be. On the other hand, if we have a crap second half of the season, it could be a relegation sort of season, but at the moment we're closer to winning the league than we are being promoted, being relegated I should say. But it's going to be interesting to see if we can even do any business in this January window due to the limited amount of funds we actually have. And yep, I was right. Considering the fact we had virtually about £60,000 to work with this window, we've been unable to do any business, and we're going to have to rock for the rest of season 1 the side we currently have. Let's see how we go at the end of season 1. Okay, not the worst, not the best season. We finish in 10th position on 52 points for our opening season with Torino, finishing 11 points short of the top 5 and well short of the top 4, but mid-table, I'll cop it. Juve win the league comfortably. Crotone, Benevento, and Hellas Verona all relegated. We did make it to the quarterfinals of the Coppa Nacional, where we were eliminated by the eventual runners-up in Juventus. Bayern Munich did win the Champions League title 2-1 over Barcelona, and PSG took down Villarreal to win the Europa League final 3-1. So that's the end of season number 1. Just a foundation building season. We'll hopefully have a better season in season number 2. Since we lost Nicholas Nkulu at the end of last season due to his loan spell ending, I've decided to go ahead and bring in a new centre back. Our back three is complete for the next few seasons. Alan Franco arrives from Independiente for £14.4 million. So we've spent a lot of our budget on the signing of Franco. Still got about £7-8 million to work with, but I'm going to look at improving the squad, maybe pick up a good release clause player or a pre-contract or sell somebody on, whatever. But let's suss out how we're going halfway through season 2. So on the 1st of January, not a good performance so far this season at all. We need to turn these draws into wins. Only 3 wins, 7 draws, 16 points. 3 points away from the relegation zone. Jared, this isn't what you're meant to be doing, mate. You're meant to be rebuilding Torino, not sending them down to the 2nd division. So our dreams of Champions League football for this season look like they are dead and buried at the moment. We just need to make sure we get something out of this season, to be honest. Apologies if you can hear the rain in the background. It's just started to get a little bit torrential here in Sydney, but we have brought in our first pre-contract signing for the rebuild. We currently have a former PSG goalkeeper in Salvatore Sirigu in between the sticks, and we're going to bring in his predecessor here, Alfonso Areola, into the club next season on a free deal. So just the signing of Areola for next season in between the sticks. Would have liked to do a little bit more business in this window, but considering we had about 7 million, I couldn't see ourselves bringing anybody for that price range that was going to really help out our squad at all. So I'm sure you guys can agree with that, but let's see if we can get ourselves up higher in the table, because we need to do better than what we are right now. So another disappointing season. We might be in the range to get sacked by the board, considering their goal for us was to qualify for the Champions League this season, but we go worse than we did last year in 12th position. Hopefully the signing of Areola for next season brings us higher. I mean, we only had 2 draws for the rest of the season, which was good, but not a good second season at all. Juve crushed the league again. Empoli, Palermo, and SPAL all relegated. And we were eliminated by Roma in the round of 16 by the Coppa Nacional. Chelsea won an all-English Champions League final against Spurs on penalties. And Schalke took down Villarreal in the Europa League final. Season 2, definitely very disappointing. We just need to keep building the foundations in this squad, and I'm sure we'll eventually get there with Torino, but we'll try again in season number 3. Season 3 begins with a massive striker signing. Kasper Dolberg joins us here at Torino for a bargain. £18.5 million. He had less than 12 months remaining on his contract with Wolfsburg, so we got him for 1.5 million less than his market value. Great signing. Welcome to Torino, Kasper Dolberg. And a player departure here as Joel Obi is off to Lille for £6.8 million. And another young gun brought into the club now, someone I don't think I've signed all year, in Martin Ødegaard, is joining us from Real Madrid. We signed him for £8.3 million plus the young gun left back, Barca. Wasn't going to play him at all due to the fact we're playing a 3 at the back formation, so only made sense to swap him out for the Norwegian in Martin Ødegaard. So a pretty busy window here. 4 players moving around. Dolberg and Ødegaard into the club. Barca and Obi out of it. This is what our starting 11 looks like right now. We'll check in and see how the hunt for Champions League football is coming along at the halfway point. So this season is definitely going well. We are tied in first position with Juventus, our Turin rivals, on 33 points. And I mean, we've been drawing a lot more games than we need to. If we turn these draws into wins, that'll definitely help us out a lot. Only 1 loss all season. The main goal, however, is to finish in that top 3 spot. get ourselves Champions League football for season number 4. Looking at the relegation battle as well, Salerno, Benevento and Frosinone are all in big trouble. No business done for this January window, only had about £700,000 to work with. I mean, if you've watched the rebuilds for a little while now, you'd know that when we have a big a big summer window, we generally have a pretty small January window. But anyways, let's see if we can win the damn league this season. Come on, Torino, let's get it done. Get in there, lads. At the end of season number 3, we have hung on and won the Serie A title, 4 points ahead of Juventus. 4 losses for the entirety of this season. We would have absolutely crushed it if we didn't draw 13 bloody games, but what a season it was. After being pretty disappointing in the first 2, Torino win the Serie A title. Hopefully we can keep that happening for the next few seasons, but most importantly, Champions League football will be happening in season number 4. And looking at the drop zone, Salerno with a dreadful season, only 15 points for them, and then it's going to be Pescara and Benevento going down with them to Serie B. We were eliminated by Napoli in the round of 16 of the Coppa Nacional. Man City won the Champions League title 2-0 over Tottenham. Pretty interested to see how we go next season in that tournament. And Manchester United won the Europa League final. So I don't think we could have asked for much more here in season number 3. Champions League bound, champions of Italy. Let's see what we can do in the Champions League next season, and let's see what players we can bring in. Our 4th season with Torino begins with a player departure as Danilo Alvelar is going to depart the club to Saint Etienne for £2.8 million. Thomas Rincon is off to Aston Villa. The Venezuelan departs Torino for £5.9 million. And we splash the cash here for our first signing of this season, Pablo Fornals. The release clause works again, £31 million release clause with Villarreal. We capitalise on it and bring in the 85 rated attacking midfielder. Welcome to Torino, Pablo Fornals. Not too busy of a transfer window, Fornals in and then Avelar and Rincon out. Sirigu might be leaving. I just accepted an offer for him a couple of hours ago, so maybe that goes through after the transfer window. I'll let you know if it does, but that's the business we have done. This is the squad we have so far. Let's go and see our first Champions League group with Torino. And look in the top left-hand corner, Sirigu's talks broke down. So this is our group for the Champions League. A interesting group. I think we can get out of it for sure. Atletico Madrid are the top dogs of the group, I would say. Torino, of course, then Spartak Moscow and BSC Young Boys from the Swiss League. Let's see if we can make it to the knockout rounds at our first time of trying. So there it is. We qualify through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League. We only just did it. Fair play to Spartak Moscow. They really put in a fight. But again, draws are our biggest problem. 2 wins, no losses, but 4 draws. Regardless, we're through to the knockout rounds. And if you turn your attention to the top left-hand corner, you will see in the round of 16, we are facing our most recent rebuild in Chelsea. So let's see if we can get the result against them. And halfway through the Serie A season, we have only picked up 1 loss. We sit in first position on 33 points. Again, just need to turn these draws into wins, but very happy to be in first place. We just need to make sure we continue to qualify for the Champions League. And we're going to go ahead here in January and pick up our second pre-contract signing for this Torino rebuild. Piotr Zielinski, the Polish centre midfielder, jumping sides in Serie A, coming from Napoli to Torino on a free next season. A massive pickup. Can't wait to have you at the club if we don't win the Champions League this season. And we have sold our third string goalkeeper, Salvatore Sirigu, to Roma for £7.2 million. A big player departure here as one of our key centre-back players, Vladimir Anton, is departing the club. He heads back to Germany. We've sold him for £23.4 million, but I've got a little bit of business that I'm hoping can go through and would be a massive upgrade. But anyways, best of luck to Anton. Get in there, lads. We've made the deal go through. Yerry Mina has signed from Barcelona for £34.9 million. We have made a +4 overall upgrade to our backline. welcome to Torino, Yerry Mina. So a pretty crazy window here, especially for January standards. So Zielinski in next season, Mina in right now, Sirigu and Anton out. Our squad's taken a big upgrade. Very excited to see how we can go against Chelsea in the Champions League round of 16. Alright, so the Champions League round of 16, our first knockout clash against Chelsea. Only one player out for this one. It is going to be Baselli, our midfielder, so one of the lower rated players in the squad. Lukic comes in to replace him. Let's make sure we don't concede too many away goals. They've brought in Traore. Who else they brought in? Odriozola. That's about it really for their starting 11. Their bench, Batshuayi's on there. Tammy Abraham. Very similar to their current squad. Batshuayi does come on. There's no goals as of yet. Batshuayi does pick up an injury. Also, apologies if you can hear my dog going off in the background. We get a goal in the 82nd minute. And that's how it's going to be, headed into leg 2 against Chelsea. Alright, the second leg here, away at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. Baselli back into the starting 11. We've got a 1-0 advantage, and any goal we score in this leg is going to help us amazingly through away goals rules. So, a strong start is very, very important. Hazard gets injured for them, but stays on the field. Mina picks up a yellow card for us. Are we going to be going to the quarterfinals? We head into the second half. Yajic is on for Odegaard. It's still 1-0 in our favour on aggregate. The clock is winding down here for Chelsea. We're moments closer, and then Alonso goes and scores a bloody equaliser. We're off to extra time. If we score, though, it's going to be a massive advantage for us. Are we headed to a penalty shootout? It's looking like it. We are, and we lose on penalties. Come on, mate. We lose on penalties in the round of 16 to Chelsea. And that's where our Champions League hopes are going to end for Season 4. Back-to-back champions, baby, and my God, we did it good this season. 11 points clear of our Turin rivals in Juventus. 9 draws, 26 wins, only 3 losses. Torino, back on top, back-to-back Serie A titles. And most importantly, back-to-back participation in the Champions League for season number 5. Crotone, Palermo, and SPAL all relegated from Serie A. We did lose the Supercoppa, however, at the start of the season, 3-2 to Juventus. And we were eliminated by Sassuolo in the quarterfinals of the Coppa Nacional. Manchester City did go on to win the Champions League, 3-2 against Atletico Madrid. And Spurs won an all-English Europa League final, but look at the semi-finals of that tournament. Burnley made it to the semis. Visa would be quite happy with that. So another quality season, slowly but surely getting there with Torino. Let's see if we can go even further in season number 5. A very early signing here in season number 5. The first week of season 5 sees us bring in Henry Onyekuru for £33.5 million from Everton. A big signing for our left-hand side. Welcome to Torino. And a player departure here as Lianco has made the move to Schalke for £12.1 million. And we bring ourselves in a brand new goalkeeper. Kepa arrives from Bilbao for £29 million plus Baselli. A big deal. Welcome to Torino. So another pretty full-on transfer window here. Onyekuru and Kepa into the club. Baselli and Lianco out of it. This is what our starting 11 looks like right now. Getting to the point where I think we can compete for the title in a few years' time. The Champions League title, that is. But let's go and have a look at our Champions League group for this 5th season. So we're in Group F for this season's Champions League. Torino, of course. Then Leipzig, Spartak Moscow, and Galatasaray. Leipzig, always a good side in career mode once you get like this deep into it. So excited to see how we go against them. And also excited to see how we go against the rest of the competition. So I'll see you guys at the end of the group stages. We have topped our group, and surprisingly, Leipzig do really poorly and miss out on qualification altogether. So it is us and Spartak Moscow getting through to the knockout round. But I mean, it's not going to be easy. If you look to the right hand side, you see we are facing PSG in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Not an easy opponent at all. Hopefully we can get past that stage, unlike last year. And here we are on the 1st of January. Things are not going to plan in Serie A. We were looking for or 3 times, I should say, Serie A champions, and we can still do it easily. We're only 6 points behind. We just need to turn these draws into bloody wins. Sounding like a broken record, but that's the fact. We need to get these wins. Not these draws, but if you look to the relegation battle, Frosinone, Carpi, and Chievo Verona, all in big trouble. We're trying to get some funds together to make a big signing here in January, and we've sold our first player. Alphonse Areola has made the move to Bayern Munich for £18.4 million. Not bad considering we got him on a free. Here we are on deadline day with a player departure. It's going to be Kevin Bonifazi, headed off to CSK Moscow for £15.8 million. And on deadline day, we've gone ahead and brought ourselves in a brand new centre-back, slowly upgrading the squad, I guess, but Jesus Vallejo is in for £31 million plus Adam Jajic. So welcome to Torino, Vallejo. Alright, so Vallejo out into the club, I should say. I almost said out of the club. Vallejo in, Jajic, Areola, and Bonifazi out of the club. Let's see how we go against PSG in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Alright, the away leg right now against PSG. We travel to the Parc des Princes. I believe that's the stadium. I'm having a shocker today, honestly, but we're hoping to pick up some away goals. We've got Sarr in for this one, Franco out through injury, Vallejo into the squad. They've still got Neymar, they've got Verratti, they've got some good players, De Vrij, but we get an away goal through Zielinski. That is perfect. They equalise through Caligari, but we have an away goal. If we could get another away goal, that would be fantastic. We do. Zielinski, what a signing this guy's proven to be. Dolberg, oh my god, we're 3-1 up. Oh my, 3 away goals against PSG. I wasn't expecting that. So we have very long odds of getting through. Despite having 3 away goals, we have a difficult challenge because Mina is out for the next 2 months, and then Kepa is out for the next 2 months. Yeah, so we've got a lot of our big name players out. We need to just score an early goal to kind of get the nerves away, but there is a real possibility that PSG could put 3 past us and get through because of the away goals, and we get a goal. Okay, Onyekuru settled my nerves. We're 4-1 up here in the round of 16. Surely we're not going to concede 4 goals now. PSG need to score 3 to send this to extra time. They're not going to do it. There's 10 minutes to go. Time is against them. Belotti makes it 2-0. That is the complete opposite of what I was expecting today. A 5-1 demolition job against PSG when I thought we were going to get our asses handed to us. So, there is a lot of English teams left in the Champions League, and the odds were on that we're going to draw one. And we've drawn Manchester United in the quarterfinals. But I can't get over how many English teams there are. There's only 3 teams in the last 8 that aren't English. So, whatever. Let's see if we can get through to the semi-finals. Manchester United in the quarters. No Kepa. No Mina. No Franco. We're up against it big time. Alright, the away leg at Old Trafford first here. If we could get 3 goals like we got against PSG, that would be absolutely fantastic. But I mean, I'm not expecting anything in that regard. They've got a good side here, United. De Gea in between the sticks. Talvin, Goretzka, Johnny they've brought in. I'm just looking at who they've brought in. Hernandez. We getting away. Zielinski, what a man. What a man Zielinski has been. Lukaku equalises. Now they take the lead. Damn it. Elvedi makes it 2-1. But Zielinski's been banging them in for us in these knockout rounds. Can we get a second away goal? That would be fantastic. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a 2-1 scoreline headed into the second leg. Alright, the home leg now. We are 2-1 down. If we can win this leg 1-0, then we'll go through. But it's going to be difficult considering our squad is so mixed and matched. Ajeti, a player I can't even recall having in the squad really, gets a yellow card. Lukaku gets an away goal, so it's 3-1 in United's favour. This is getting really difficult now. We need to score now quickly and make it 2-1. If we're any chance, Martial, yeah, United's going to run away with this, aren't they? They're 4-1 up. We're going to lose in the quarterfinals, but injuries were not on our side. Is there going to be a consolation goal? No, there is not. A 4-1 loss across 2 legs against Manchester United. So this has been a very disappointing end to the season. We were not even close to getting in the title picture. We finished in 6th position. This was not meant to happen. We were meant to be continuously winning the league, but injuries and certain things and just underperforming as a whole sees us finish in 6th position, meaning unless I think we won some sort of domestic cup, we won't get a chance to complete the rebuild in Season 6. Benevento, Carpi and Chievo Verona all relegated as well. We did win the Supercoppa against Juve at the start of the season, but I don't think that gets us into the Champions League. And we lost the Coppa Nacional final against Roma 2-1. That is not good. We came so close, but we fell so short. So Manchester United did go on to beat Manchester City in the Champions League final, so at least we lost to the winner. And Atletico Madrid beat Benfica to win the Europa League. So that is the end of season number 5. Started off very promising, ended horribly. We need to push on and hopefully get back into the Champions League for season number 7. Season 6 begins like most other seasons, and that is with a player signing. Lorenzo Pellegrini is joining us, a pretty good price, £30 million from Real Betis. Welcome to Torino. And a player departure here, Alfred Gomes is off to Borussia Mönchengladbach for £17 million. And we're going to splash the cash here to bring in a new striker. Now, at the moment, not a starting striker, just somebody that fits in the squad as a decent backup. An expensive backup, but a backup nonetheless. Hassan Bande is joining us from KV Mechelen in the Belgian league, I believe, for £29.3 million. Alright, so that is the end of the transfer window. Pellegrini, Bande in, Gomes out. This is what our starting 11 is looking like, so slowly but surely getting there. Unfortunately, no Champions League this season, so we need to just put all of our time and energy into getting into the Champions League next season. Let's see how that is going halfway through this one. Alright, so halfway through the season, we sit in 4th position. 9 points behind Juventus, who are killing it, undefeated right now. We want to make a push to the top 3 though, so it's going to have to be a very good second half of the season. Get those points up and overtake Roma and Milan. Fiorentina, surprisingly in the drop zone there, along with Palermo and Crotone, but that would be pretty big if Fiorentina got relegated. And I mean, it's no surprise that we were unable to do any business during this transfer window with like 5 million, not even like £3 million in our account. I mean, it's going to take a bit more than that to improve on this squad, but let's hope this squad is enough to see us play Champions League football in season number 7. Alright, we've done it. We get through to the top 3. We finish in 3rd. We play Champions League football, but I think we'll have to go through the qualifiers or the playoffs or whatever it's called in season number 7. Juventus crushed the league this year. 11 points ahead of us. Roma in 2nd, and then Fiorentina escaped the relegation battle with Frosinone, Palermo and Crotone all being relegated. We made it to the Coppa Nacional final where we unfortunately lost 1-0 to AC Milan. Man City win a Manchester derby Champions League final quite comfortably. Hopefully we're in that position next season. And Athletic Bilbao won the Europa League final on penalties. I know for a fact that we made it through to the round of 32, but we lost to Marseille. So that's season 6 done and dusted. Again, just more of a setting up season so that we can really go hard at the Champions League title in season number 7. Let's give it a shot with Torino. Let's go, fellas. So it seems as if the Pellegrini stay in the midfield of Torino is only going to be a 1-season thing, because we have brought in Naby Keita for £53 million, 4 overall more than Pellegrini, a massive pickup. welcome to Torino, Naby Keita. So a player departure here as Frankie de Jong. He's been here since the early days of this rebuild, but he is now off to Everton for £25.8 million. And then we sign ourselves another backup centre-back, really getting the depth in that position. Unai Nunez is arriving from Bilbao for £27.5 million. Alright, so we are into the playoffs, like I said at the end of last season. We're taking on Dundalk, the Irish side, I believe. We should be able to get ourselves through to the group stages. I really hope so with the squad we've built now. That'll be quite disappointing if we don't. We do have the away leg first here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close scoreline. You know how simulations work on FIFA sometimes, but we simulate it and it's a 1-1 draw, so a lot of work to do here in the second leg. Alright, leg number 2. Do or die. Please don't get eliminated by Dundalk. That would be quite embarrassing. Let's see how we go. We're going to simulate it, and it's a 2-0 win. Not the most comfortable result, but it's a result nonetheless. And most importantly, we're into the group stages. £80 million spent, 25 into the club, Keita and Nunez in, de Jong out. Our squad is looking mighty fine. Let's go and have a suss out of our Champions League group for season number 7. You wish, lads. You wish. We're probably going to end up losing to them in the Champions League this season, no mind luck, but the job is not done with Torino. A very tough group here, Group D. We're with Bilbao, Wolfsburg and Basel, so I'm happy that I went ahead and bought Nunez because that's one less quality player they have, but it's going to be a very, very tough group. Excited, but also nervous to see how we go. Let's get on with it. Let's see how we do in Group D. I almost said group number D, but group letter D. Just Group D, Jared. Group D. So we have crushed it. Top of the group, 11 points, equal with Bilbao, but we had a better goal difference by 1. Wolfsburg on 7, Basel on 3. We're into the knockout rounds, back where we belong. And if you look to the top right-hand corner, a very interesting opponent. We're facing Everton in the round of 16. And then on the 1st of January, our goal is to get top 3 football again in the Serie A. And right now, we're on track for it. Very, very close. I mean, a single loss could put us all the way down in 7th on 20, or we're on 30 points. But realistically, if Napoli and everybody above them wins, we could be down in 7th. But anyways, let's hope we stick on and get to the top 3 at the end of the season if we don't win the Champions League this season. Inter Milan in the drop zone as well. Again, like a lot of January transfer windows, we aren't able to do much work, not enough finances, and our squad is looking very good. In fact, our starting 11 looks great, and so does our bench. So I'm pretty excited to see what we can do this season with Torino. Let's jump in to the round of 16 clash now against Everton and hopefully get Champions League glory. Alright, so we're off to Goodison Park for the first leg here of the Champions League round of 16. Can we get ourselves past Everton? We've got no Franco for the next couple of months, really, about 3 months almost, 2.5 months. And Everton have a good side. Pickford would be at a good level. They've got Aurier, Keane would be at a good level, and Didi would be at about 86, 85. But we've got an away goal, which I almost completely missed. It's through Fornals, and I love the away goals. I would love a second one, though. Can the FIFA gods step up for us? Yes, they do. Zielinski makes it 2-0. A third goal, or am I pushing my luck? Yep, I was pushing my luck. 2-0 headed into the second leg. Alright, so a 2-0 up heading into the second leg here against Everton. Now, Vallejo is out for just this leg through injury, 7 days on the sidelines, so lucky we went ahead and bought Nunez because now we have Nunez and Sarr in the starting 11s. We just need to make sure we do not choke in this second leg. An early goal would be massive, but we have 2 away goals in our favour, and there we go. Belotti makes it 3-0. Very confident heading into the second leg that we are going to get through to the quarterfinals. Zielinski just about assures us a spot there, so now we just need to make sure we don't pick up any injuries or suspensions. They get a goal back through Masonda, but ultimately we're going to be headed through to the Champions League quarterfinals 4-1 on aggregate. So what did I tell you? At the start of the season, Manchester United offered us a job. I turned it down, and now we're going to face them in the Champions League quarterfinals. You couldn't write it any better. Let's see if we can take them down. It's going to be very tough, but we do have all of our stars back, so we're in the best position to do just that, but definitely a big test for us. So we do have the home leg up first, which I'm not a massive fan of. but hopefully we can use it to our advantage somehow. We need to keep a clean sheet, that's the biggest thing. And looking at this United squad, they get a goal in the 7th minute, and it is a very impressive squad. We get an equaliser through Naby Keita, but they've brought in Talvin, Goretzka, Casemiro, Hernandez. They've got Arp on the bench. It's a very, very good side here for Manchester United. Come on, can we get the lead? Talvin gives Manchester United the lead, which is not a good sign at all. Onyekuru equalises, thankfully, but Man United have the away goal advantage headed into the second leg. Alright, time for the away leg right now. Travelling to Old Trafford to take on Manchester United. 2-2 heading into it. We're missing Naby Keita for this leg. They missed a penalty in the 5th minute, which is going to be good for us, but we need to make sure that we take the advantage of it and actually get an equaliser, or get the go-ahead goal it would be. Not super confident, but we get it! Onyekuru makes it 3-2 in our favour. We need to score a second goal here to wipe out the away goal advantage, though, because if United score, they will go through an away goal advantage. Please, 15 minutes. Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. We hold on. Semi-finals. Oh my god. You guys could probably tell by my voice how little confidence I had heading into this second leg. Martial's penalty is a big time miss, and we're through to the Champions League semis. Whew, we got past United. Well, we're just not getting a break really, are we? We take out Manchester United, and now we're drawn up against Real Madrid. Thank you very much, FIFA gods. You're really looking out for me today, but we have to face Real Madrid to hopefully get ourselves through to a Champions League final here. And it could be, and it's looking like, if we take down Real Madrid, we'll be coming up against Juventus. Oh, that'd be crazy. The Turin derby in the Champions League final, but we're not there yet. We need to get Real Madrid out of the picture. It's going to be a big task. Let's see if we can do it. Alright, so the first leg is away at the Santiago Bernabeu. Can we get the result here? No Mina for the first leg, but Franco is back in business, so let's see if we can get the result here. We need away goals, and we get one to start things off. Onyekuru, that's the perfect start. They've got a very good side here, Real Madrid, but I feel like we've got an evenly matched one. I feel like Manchester United's squad was better than Real Madrid's, and Bunde does make it 2-0, so we are stepping up big time here in the first leg. What a start it has been. A third goal would be the cherry on top. Let's just not concede one, though. We don't. 2-0 result against Real Madrid. That is a great start. Alright, so we have the 2-0 advantage heading into this second leg here at home. You would think we're more than likely going to be going through the Champions League final, but we could choke big time, and I really hope that's not the case right now. So an early goal will settle the little amount of nerves I have, but if Real Madrid do get a goal early in this first half, I'll be quite worried. But Vallejo against his former side does put us 3-0 up on aggregate, which is definitely want to see they get a goal back through Julian Draxler. So it's 3-1 at the moment, 20 minutes for them. Varane picks up an injury. Rafael Varane, it's not looking likely here for Real Madrid, and it is not going to be likely Torino to face either Juventus or Borussia Dortmund for the Champions League final. A monumental day ahead of us in Italian and European football, because we have the Turin derby for the Champions League final. Torino FC versus Juventus. Can we take down our cross-town rivals? We're about to find out. Juve did take down Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid, and PSG on their road to the finals. So just like us, they have had a very tough run to the final. Taking a look at some of the other tournaments, however, Liverpool did win the Europa League. Juventus once again win the Serie A title. They were 12 points ahead of us. So we had a little bit in the middle of the rebuild, or the middle of it so far, that was really good in the Serie A. But besides that, we've been pretty average. But we finished in third, meaning if we lose tonight to Juve, we will get a chance at redeeming ourselves in season number 8. Chievo Verona, Benevento, and Hellas Verona all relegated as well. And then Juventus did win the Coppa Nacional, so they are pushing for the treble here. They took down Roma in the final. We lost to Roma in the semis. But here is a look at our squad report at the conclusion of this Torino rebuild, we hope. We hope we don't have to go for another season. I mean, I thought we could have won it last season if we didn't have the terrible run in the Serie A. We've made it to a few. We've made it somewhat deep in this rebuild, I would say, a few times. So we've built a very good starting 11 here and a very good bench. Potentially one of the best benches I have ever built. I mean, we've got an 86 rated centre back and an 84 rated striker and an 84 rated centre midfielder on the bench. So if we're struggling in this game against Juve, we have the opportunity to bring in some attacking power off the bench. But anyways, I'm interested to see what this Juventus side is looking like. Let's get into it. The Champions League final, Torino versus Juventus.
Chasing the speed of sound, got me mesmerized. This light in your eyes has got me hypnotized. Motionless, lost in your direction. Crowded room with you in my perspective. Me and you, a composition waiting to leave. We're all until get lost in my fantasy.
The Turin Derby, the Champions League final. For Juventus and Torino fans, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Let's see who comes out on top. On the attack early here. Got some very big players up front. Asensio trying to get some space for himself. Not jumping in, but not giving him enough space to shoot. Storaro got a shot off, but it's a pretty weak one. Tolisso. Going there. Delafeu, nicely read. Now can we get him on the counter-attack? Kaiser. Going here. Oh, that's a beautifully weighted ball. Bande on the angle. Off the post to follow up. Oh, we can't get to it. We've hit the post. We've got ourselves a corner. Can we make the most of it? Erdegaard is going to float this one in here. Belotti, the bicycle. That would have been huge. On the attack here, Gerard Delafeu. Going to Dybala, back to Delafeu. He goes for the shot, straight into the hands of Kepa though. Delafeu running down the line here, up against Mina. Good stuff there from Mina. Trying to hit him on the counter-attack. Naby Keita. Great passing play here. Bande. Good moves. Already hit the post. I see you making that run out wide. Good ball to Martin Erdegaard. On the angle. Goes for the shot himself. The follow-up. Belotti. We have the lead in the Champions League final. What a start to the game. We've come out. It's been an end-to-end contest so far. But our captain, who's been here since day one, Andrea Belotti, is going to get the scrappy goal to give us the lead in the Champions League final. Good stuff there. We're reading the play very, very well today. And now we're on the break. Bunde's got the pace. It is mental how fast this guy is. Cuts around. Crosses it in. Goes in there. Fornals to follow up. Can we get the shot off? We can't. It's going to be a corner. Imagine if we got a second goal there. Still the opportunity is alive. Zielinski. Floating this one in there. Belotti. Headers again off the crossbar. The follow-up. Mina. We're 2-0 up. We've scored two extremely scrappy goals. But it does not matter. It is Torino. 2-0 up within 36 minutes. A dream start. They're on the attack here. Juve would love a goal back before half-time. Let's not give it to them. They've been decent in this game. It's going to be Dybala forcing a save there at the near post. Juve's on the attack. Asensio. Easy tackle, but he wins the ball back. That's shit. And Asensio almost got this game back on. Alright, it's a corner here for Juventus. They've just brought on Bernardeschi. They've got Griezmann on the bench, so maybe they'll bring him on, but they're not going to score with weak headers like that. Bernardeschi running down the line here. That's a nice ball through to Dybala, who is onside, but goes for the shot at the near post. They get a corner. Clearly Dybala hasn't played FIFA 18 this year, because if he had, he would have gone across the body and tucked it into the far corner. Alright, we've got a corner here. We score here, and it's just about game, set, and match. Zielinski in there. Jesus Vallejo, there it is! There's the goal! Torino, barring a minor miracle, are going to be champions of Europe. Jesus Vallejo, what a header. I saw it building up. I could see the man making the opening. You could see him. I said, if I get near post with this guy, we've got it all day. And that's a great header there. And that is 3-0. What a domination it has been. Antoine Griezmann onto the pitch here now for Juve. Trying to get a spark for them. They go through. Griezmann hits the post with one of his first touches. That could have made things a little bit more interesting. Into stoppage time now. Juve looking for a consolation goal. Not going to mean much if they do score. Maybe we can get a fourth. But it's going to be Torino lifting the Champions League title. Another Champions League title here. Are they going to get a goal? They are. Antoine Griezmann makes it 3-1. Pretty poor defense there from me. But to be fair, I was focusing on my commentary and excited by the prospect that we've just about won the Champions League title here. And I would assume that as soon as we kick things off here, the full-time whistle is going to blow. But fellas, that is going to conclude today's rebuild. There's the full-time whistle. That's going to conclude today's rebuild, fellas. If you enjoyed it, as per normal, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you bloody scorpion kick that subscribe button down below if you are new around here. I'll let you enjoy the title celebrations. It has been JarradHD here. I am out. Peace.
Don't waste my time.